So today's maths lesson, you are going to be consolidating what you already learned this week with Eric and John on fractions, decimals and percentages. And today we're going to focus particularly on percentages. And your learning objective is to understand percentages as a fraction of 100. So remember, decimals, percentages and fractions are what we use when we're referring to amounts that are less than a whole one. So, for example, what does percent mean? Per cent. Per means for every, and cent means 100%, for every 100. For example, here we have 100 small squares. How many are covered? Well, you can see just by looking that it's half of them that are covered, which is 50. So 50 in every 100 are coloured. We call this 50%. And as a fraction, you would write it 50 over 100. Here you can see out of 100 small squares, 10 are coloured. So for every 100, 10 in every 100 are coloured. You call that 10%. And we can go on going through all of the coloured squares. Here we've got 5. Out of 100 squares, 5 are coloured. So 5 in every 100 we call 5%. Rows of 10, so we've got 10, 20, 30. 30 out of 100 small squares have been coloured. 30 over 100, which would be 3 over 10, which would be 30%. And remember, if it's 3 over 10, then you have got 3 in the 10th column. So that would be 0.3 as a decimal if we're transferring everything you've been looking at so far this week. So how many have we got here? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 83 out of 100. 83 in every 100 are coloured, 83%. And as a decimal, it would be 0.83. As a fraction, it would be 83 over 100. So, if you want to find 1% of any number, all you need to do is divide by 100. Now, we've been dividing by 100 ever since you first came into my class in grade 4 back in August. So, if you want to find 1% of 225, then you need to divide 225 by 100. Easy for you guys, you've been doing it for so long. So imagine, we've got an imaginary decimal point there. All the digits are going to be moving 2 places to the right. So I want you to think in your heads now. If I divided it by 10, it would be 22.5. If I divide it by 100, let's see, 225. Digits all move 2 places to the right. Hey, look, there's the imaginary decimal point that we don't need because we don't have anything smaller than a whole one. Keep watching. So all the digits are moving 2 places to the right to give you 2.25. And that's how you find 1% of anything. You just divide what it is you're looking at by 100. So 1% of 225 is 2.25. It's as easy as that. Find 10% is exactly the same process, except this time you divide by 10.